everyone, good afternoon, and get ready for hotter temperatures across central Oregon. That's right, we're bringing the August heat through the next several days, and there's almost no rain in sight. As we go through the rest of this work week and into the weekend, Sunday and Monday, we could see a few changes. But we're about to take a deep dive into your most reliable forecast, look at what's been happening and what's on the way, how it's going to impact us, and what we need to know as we wrap up the work week and go into the weekend. So let's jump into it for this deep dive. Right now across the Tri-County area, we have tons of sunshine. Looking at each one of these cameras, there's almost not a cloud in the sky. Now, there are some cameras that are focused in, and we're talking about some of the Oregon Hazard Labs cameras for parts of the Tri-County area. They're focused into spots where there have been a little bit of smoke, some haze, and even a smoke plume on the other side of that pole from the Hinkle Butte camera. Now, Shannecoe, Pine Mountain 2, I believe it is, and Klein Butte show some smoke, show some haze, but the air quality is still doing pretty good on the high desert. We're going to focus in on that smoke plume from the Hinkle Butte camera and get more information for you as we go forward. But when we go ahead and take a look at what's happening when it comes to air quality from eSpace, the individual sensors are those little green dots, and from the DEQ, the base map, all show good air quality. And at the moment, there's nothing that's really concerning as far as air quality goes. Even looking a little further into it and going over to the purple air sensors, we're not seeing too much or too many spots that are troublesome. There is a little bit of reduced and even poor air quality. It looks like right around Tumlo. You see that red dot, but that's the only red dot across the entire Tri-County area. Oops, sorry, let me go ahead and shut that off. Now, going forward through the next couple of days, periods of reduced air quality are going to be possible, but right now, we're doing pretty good. Satellite and radar shows a ridge of high pressure building into the region, and this high is keeping our sky clear, and there is no rain in sight, not just for our Tri-County area, but the entire Pacific Northwest is dry. Now, the next few days, we stay very dry, we stay very sunny, and we're getting even hotter. It's not going to be until late this week and going into next week that we start to see a little bit of relief. These temperatures are going to be climbing to 10 to 15 degrees above average, with those highs well into the 90s. And that high pressure that we're seeing rolling into the region, it was over the Four Corners region just a couple of days ago. Looking at the bigger picture, we have a couple things that we're looking at right here, and there is a broad area of low pressure that's out over the Pacific Ocean on the backside of our high. And this low pressure center is actually going to move right into Canada. So really around the periphery of our high pressure that continues to build in from the south and the southeast. So what does that really mean for us? That means that we're actually expecting sunshine through the day tomorrow. By the time we get to Saturday, more clouds are expected. That's when our high pressure starts to weaken just a little bit. And there's two of them that we're tracking. One coming up from the southwest U.S. and one that's over the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean one, that's the one that's keeping a lot of that activity at bay. And water vapor imagery shows very dry air cutting right through the state. And typically I tell you that blue is dry, yellow is even drier, and but we're now seeing these oranges. That is just bone dry air, and there's a lot of subsidence with this next ridge of high pressure. So that means the atmosphere is pushing down, keeping any clouds from developing, but it's also pushing down in the way of if there is a smoke plume, if a fire does start, we are looking at that smoke being trapped closer to the surface. But yeah, a very dry, a bone dry air mass right over the state, not just central Oregon. And outside of that, there is a little bit of moisture to our south, but it's not going to really start to impact us until we get to later in the forecast. So let's go ahead and look at one of those forecast models. This is your high resolution model. It's showing that winds are starting to get a little breezy for parts of the high desert. Outside of that, there's just nothing anywhere near us because of this high pressure system that's building into the region. We stay clear tonight. We have sunshine tomorrow. By Friday, late in the day, we're starting to see some clouds building into the Tri-County area, but really it's just some light clouds. By Saturday, more clouds are expected, but there's just no rain in sight, and we stay very dry like this until we get to Sunday and Monday. That's when we start to see this ridge of high pressure flatten. But with these very dry conditions, it's dry overhead in the atmosphere, it's dry at the surface. Our relative humidity humidity values, which are measured in percentages, are in the teens, with a few 20s on the map. Meanwhile, today, high temperatures, mostly in the 80s with a few 90s, but watch this. This is a look at your highs through the last 24 hours. Actual temperatures are right there as well. There are only a couple that are a little different. I think I'm just using different sensors on those. And so when we look at the temperature change in the last 24 hours, we're running between 4 and 8 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, and it's going to get even hotter with not much in the way of relief. So tonight we fall back into the 50s with a few 40s, maybe a couple 60s out there, but tomorrow we go from 80s and some 90s to 90s with few 80s and a couple spots flirting with triple digits, but just not quite there until we get to Saturday. So for Friday, our UV intensity forecast is very high. We're not even looking at much in the way of clouds. Highs are in the 90s, and we stay very high through Saturday. Sunday and Monday, we introduce a little bit more cloud cover, and that's going to shift things around for us. So a different forecast model is this one showing geopotential heights, and basically how thick the atmosphere is from the surface to 500 millibars. And there's a dome of high pressure, also known as a heat dome, that's building into the Pacific Northwest. Our closest low is way out over the Gulf of Alaska, and that's not coming anywhere near us. So through Friday, few PM clouds are expected, highs mostly in the 90s. By Saturday, 90s with a few triple digits possible. Breezy at times, more clouds are expected. Then Sunday, that high pressure starts to flatten a little bit, which means weaken, and it starts to back build, just getting out of the Pacific Northwest. Now, we still are going to be very dry. More clouds are expected, and there's a chance of some PM showers. Highs still well into the 90s. So because of this heat, the National Weather Service has issued a series of heat and fire related weather alerts. The closest ones to us on our side of the Cascades are a heat advisory to the south and through the mountains, and that's from Friday during the midday hours all the way through Monday evening, and there is an extreme heat watch to our north Saturday through Wednesday afternoons, and our red flag warning for the Warm Springs Reservation is going to be for tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets expanded in time or in area. Now, temperatures are really heating up, getting into the mid to upper 90s by the time we get to Saturday. Now, a few triple digits are expected. By Sunday, we see that high pressure starting to flatten, temperatures still well into the 90s, still in the 90s Monday and Tuesday. Those will be your best bet for showers, maybe even some thunderstorm development. So here's your forecast model, the one we typically use on air. We're keeping it dry tonight, and Friday, sunshine. By Saturday, in and out clouds are expected. Watch what happens on Sunday. Sunday, we keep more cloud cover with periods of clearing. Some afternoon showers are going to be possible, but they're going to be very hit and miss. By Monday, we actually see our next chance of rain. So we're going to look at an extended forecast model. This is a long-range model, not as high of resolution, but it helps paint a picture of what's going to happen starting next week. With Monday, showers, maybe some thunderstorms through the Cascades. Some of that could roll through the high desert. Tuesday, we start off sunny, more PM clouds, and a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Wednesday, this pattern where we have these pulse thunderstorms only going to be for Monday and Tuesday, and then maybe on Thursday. So by Wednesday, we're looking at even more sunshine with some showers by the PM hours once again. Now through Saturday at 11 p.m., we're dry because of our high pressure. By Sunday during the PM hours, some light showers are not out of the question. They're going to be possible, but I don't think all that is going to be reaching the ground. Gusts aren't too bad at all. Close to where the actual wind speeds are coming out of the north and northeast, about 10 to 20 miles per hour. And during the next couple of hours, we're going from 5 to 15 to 10 to 20. So it is going to get breezy this afternoon and evening. Same thing happens on Friday. By Saturday, a little bit stronger of winds by the afternoon and evening. So for tonight, we're talking 50s, a few 40s and 60s. By tomorrow, 90s, maybe a couple triple digits, tons of sunshine. Here's your 7-day planner. We heat up through Saturday, then our temperatures level out, even looking at a little bit of a dip in temperatures by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. By Thursday, we're back into the 80s. So quick recap for you. Your weather headlines for this Thursday, August the 21st, include dry conditions, and we are bringing the heat with elevated fire danger on the way. There's no rain in sight. Each afternoon is going to get a little breezy at times. Now today is Thursday, so the latest drought monitor is out. This is what it looked like last week. This week, a few spots changed a little bit, and that severe drought came a little bit more into Jefferson and Crook counties, but it improved in southeast and south central Oregon. Okay, y'all, that is it. I have to go get ready for the show, but for now, join us at 5 and 11 on ABC and at 6, 7, and 11 on CBS. We'll have the latest headlines, your most reliable forecast, and I'll give you more details on this heat dome that's rolling into the region. We'll see you then.